Listen carefully, because this is not just another video you casually clicked on. This is a moment, a very precise moment that was timed long before you ever pressed play. And if you feel even the slightest tension in your chest right now, that subtle pull, that strange curiosity you couldn't ignore, then understand this clearly. You were not scrolling. You were being guided. Something tore. You felt it. Maybe weeks ago. Maybe days. Maybe in the quiet of last night when sleep refused to come and the ceiling above you suddenly felt closer than usual. A pressure, a loosening, a sense that an invisible thread you had been carrying your entire life had finally, quietly, snapped. You didn't have a name for it. You looked for one. You searched. You scrolled past 1,000 voices and none of them spoke the precise word your body was waiting to hear. So you kept moving. And then this title appeared. And something in your chest pulled forward before your mind even had time to decide. Stay with me, because what you are about to hear is not a metaphor. It is not poetic language dressed up to keep you watching. It is a transmission, a direct address from the field that has been tracking your frequency long before you remembered you had one. And the reason this video found you, in this exact second, is because the contract you signed, the one written into your nervous system, your habits, your identity, has just torn itself apart, and the chosen ones are the only ones who feel it before they understand it. Most won't. Most will scroll past. Most will dismiss the chill that just moved through their spine as random, as nothing, as a glitch in the algorithm. But you are still here. You are still listening. And that alone is the first sign you needed. Breathe, slowly, fully, because the next several minutes are not going to be like anything you have ever sat through before. This is not motivation. This is activation, and the threshold has already opened beneath you. Before we go any further, do this with intention. Tap like, because you are anchoring this moment into your timeline. Subscribe, because this is not the last time you will feel this shift. And in the comments, write this now. My old contract is dead. Not later. Now. Because the moment you write it, you are no longer observing. You are participating. And participation is where transformation begins. This is not a ritual borrowed from somewhere old. It is a ritual being written through you, in real time, by the version of you who already lives on the other side of the contract you came here to break. The words are not symbolic. They are coded. They carry frequency. And when you type them into the field, they do not disappear into an algorithm. They imprint into your cellular memory. Type it now. My old contract is dead. Watch how something quiets in your chest the second you finish the final letter. That stillness is the proof. That stillness is the first signature of the new agreement already taking shape inside you. And now we continue. You have been told that your life is unfolding the way it is supposed to, that every difficulty is a lesson, that every loop you keep falling into is a teacher dressed in inconvenient clothing. You have been told that your patterns are sacred, that your suffering is meaningful, that the cycles you cannot break are simply part of the path. What if that isn't true? What if the loops you have been calling lessons are not lessons at all? What if they are clauses? Specific, binding clauses written into a contract you do not remember signing. A contract authored long before this body was assembled, by a version of you that no longer represents who you actually are. What if the recurring relationship pattern, the financial ceiling, the slow decay of your energy by Wednesday afternoon, the strange resistance to the very thing you say you want? What if none of that is karma? What if it is just paperwork? Let that land. Most people live their entire lives never questioning the agreements running silently in the background of their nervous system. They wake up, they feel the same heaviness, they explain it, they blame it on the weather, the boss, the partner, the childhood, the chart, the planet. And here's the truth most people aren't ready to hear. Those explanations are not insight. They are maintenance. They keep the contract intact. They keep you fluent in the language of your own limitations. You felt it, didn't you? The exhaustion of explaining yourself the same way for so many years. The quiet humiliation of recognizing the same script in your own mouth. The moment a friend told you something about yourself and you laughed because it was familiar, but underneath the laugh there was a wound, because somewhere inside, you knew you had been performing a role for so long, you no longer remembered choosing it. Stay with me, because this is the part most teachings stop short of. Most voices will tell you to accept yourself, to love your shadow, to integrate the inner child. And those things matter, but none of them touch the contract itself. None of them go to the place where the original signature was made. They negotiate within the agreement instead of dissolving it. You are not a project to be improved. You are not a wound to be healed. You are not a story to be rewritten. You are a sovereign architecture that has been operating for too long under the terms of an agreement you outgrew lifetimes ago. And here's what most people never realize. A soul contract is not romantic. It is not destiny in the poetic sense. It is a structural arrangement encoded in repetition that determines what your body permits you to receive. It controls your earning ceiling. It controls who you fall in love with and how. It controls how much joy your nervous system tolerates before it manufactures sabotage. It controls how visible you allow yourself to be. It even controls how long you stay in rooms before you start looking for the exit. You feel the chest pressure right now because we just named it. Because some part of you that has been waiting decades to hear this just exhaled for the first time. This is not motivation. This is recognition. And recognition is the first crack in any contract that was never yours to begin with. What if your unhealed places are not yours? What if your blocks are not yours? What if the heaviness you wake up with, the one that feels like an old coat you didn't choose to wear, what if that was never your weight to carry but a clause inherited, signed in a state of forgetting, kept alive by repetition? You are not broken. You are bound, and bindings can be undone. Here is what is actually happening inside you right now. The architecture of reality is not built from objects. It is built from agreements, frequencies that have been repeated long enough that they crystallize into form. Your body is one of those agreements. Your daily reality is another. The way money flows toward you or away from you is another. And every one of those agreements is held in place by what the older traditions called a soul contract, and what the field itself recognizes as a vibrational gateway, a specific frequency that filters which experiences are permitted to reach you. The soul contract is not in the sky. It is not in some distant book held by higher beings. It is in your cellular memory. It is encoded in the way your nervous system reacts before your mind has time to interpret. It is the reason your jaw tightens when you receive a compliment, the reason your stomach turns when an opportunity appears too quickly, the reason your throat closes when you try to ask for what you actually want. Those are not personality traits. They are signatures. They are the contract still operating. And here's what most people never realize. A soul contract does not break by force. It does not break by willpower. It does not break by trying harder, working longer, sitting longer in silence, broadcasting louder. Those are all moves made within the contract, efforts that reinforce the very structure you are trying to escape. The contract breaks only when the version of you who signed it is no longer the version of you who is here. That is what just happened. Somewhere, in a moment you may not even consciously remember, your frequency moved. The viewer who pressed play on this video is not the same viewer who would have pressed play 3 months ago. Something has been quietly recalibrating in you. The recalibration is what tore the contract. The contract did not tear because you fought it. It tore because you outgrew the part of you that needed it. Feel that. Notice the soft warmth that is beginning to spread across your chest. Notice the subtle vibration in your hands, the kind that arrives just before something important is remembered. Notice how your breath is already deepening on its own, without instruction. That is your body confirming what your mind has not fully accepted yet. The contract is gone. What remains is paperwork the field hasn't filed yet, but the binding force is already broken. This is the sign the title promised you. The chosen ones do not see it with their eyes. They feel it. They feel it as a strange sense of distance from their old life, as an unexplainable fatigue with conversations that used to interest them, as a sudden inability to perform identities that used to fit, as an irritation with their own routines that they cannot rationalize, as the feeling, often described and rarely named, of being one room ahead of their own body. You have been feeling this for a while, haven't you? You assumed something was wrong. You called it burnout. You called it a phase. You called it depression, doubt, restlessness, premature, late, off. None of those words fit, but you used them because they were the only ones available to you in the language of the contract. Here is the actual word: threshold. You are at a threshold. The contract that organized your previous life has dissolved its binding force. The structures around you may still look the same, but the energy holding them in place has already withdrawn. This is why so many things feel suddenly heavier, suddenly intolerable, suddenly out of sync. It is not that life got worse. It is that you can no longer pretend to fit something the field has already disqualified you from. This is not a problem. This is the integration phase beginning. And here's the truth most people aren't ready to hear. The space between the old contract dissolving and the new one taking form is the most disorienting moment of any incarnation. It is the moment where most people, in fear, sign a duplicate. They recreate the old conditions in slightly different costumes. They marry a version of the same person. They take a different job that operates by the same rules. They move to a new city and rebuild the same loneliness. They mistake repetition for continuity, and continuity for safety. You will not be one of them. You are still here. You are still listening. And you are about to be shown what most people spend lifetimes never seeing. There is a version of you that already exists beyond the contract. That version is not in the future. It exists now, in parallel, waiting for alignment. And the distance between you and that version is not measured in years but in awareness, in seconds, in moments like this one. Stay with this. That version of you woke up this morning in a body that does not store the heaviness yours has carried. That body does not flinch at opportunity. That body does not contract when love approaches. That body breathes deeper, sleeps cleaner, ages slower, recovers faster, not because it earned those things, but because it never signed the agreement that produced the opposite. Its nervous system was never trained to brace. Its frequency was never compressed. Its biological authority was never negotiated away. Now imagine, and let your body imagine, not your mind, what it feels like to be that version of you for one breath, not to become them, to remember them, their morning, the way the light enters the room when you open your eyes, the way the first thought is not a problem but a quiet recognition that the day has already begun in your favor, the way you reach for your body and your body answers immediately, with energy, with willingness, with that subtle internal yes that has been so rare in your current life, it has started to feel like fiction. You are not imagining a stranger. You are remembering yourself, their work, the way your hands move when you do what you actually came here to do, the way your voice sounds when it speaks from the version of you that no longer apologizes for taking up space, the way money behaves around that version of you, not as a reward you chase, but as a frequency that recognizes its own home and arrives without effort. Effort, after all, was a clause in the old contract. The new agreement does not require it. Their relationships, the way it feels to be in a room with people who do not require performance from you, the way conversation moves when you are not filtering, not editing, not preemptively protecting yourself from someone else's reaction, the way silence stops feeling like an interrogation, the way intimacy stops feeling like exposure, the way love arrives without first asking you to make yourself smaller. Stay with me. Your body cannot tell the difference between a vividly remembered experience and a current one. This is not poetic language. This is biological fact. The nervous system, when fully presented with a sensory image, responds by manufacturing the chemistry of that image as if it were happening now, which means the second you let yourself feel, fully, what it is like to inhabit the version of you beyond the contract, the field begins reorganizing around that frequency, not symbolically, materially. Notice the goosebumps moving across your forearms right now. That is not coincidence. That is your nervous system recognizing the frequency it has been waiting for permission to embody. You are not adding something new. You are removing what blocks what is already trying to emerge. That is not motivation. That is the architecture of reality finally answering you in your own voice. The merge is not loud. It does not arrive with thunder. It arrives in a strange quietness, a sudden ability to do something you used to find heavy, a spontaneous loss of interest in something you used to crave, a laugh that comes from a deeper place in your chest than where laughs used to live, a morning where you wake up and notice halfway through your coffee that the heaviness you have carried for years is simply not there. You do not celebrate it. You almost do not notice it. That is how you know the merge has begun. You are not chasing that version. You are returning to her, to him, to the original frequency that the contract muted but never erased. And right now, something is shifting. Stay with this. The space between you and that parallel version is not a distance. It is a frequency adjustment, and every word you have heard in the last several minutes has been recalibrating that frequency in real time. Your breath has changed since this video began. Your posture has changed. Your internal monologue has quieted. These are not effects. These are evidence. The merge is no longer a possibility. It is an unfolding. You are not waiting. You are not asking. You are not searching. You are merging. and the merge is irreversible. Here's how it actually works inside the body. The nervous system has two dominant modes: survival mode and regeneration mode. In survival mode, the body is a closed system. It is conservative. It hoards resources. It scans the environment for threat. It interprets ambiguity as danger. It interprets unfamiliarity, even pleasant unfamiliarity, as risk. In survival mode, the cells repair slowly, the breath stays shallow, the digestion underperforms, and the imagination collapses into rehearsing problems. This is the biological signature of every soul contract you have ever lived inside. The contract is not metaphysical alone. It is metabolic. Regeneration mode is something else entirely. In regeneration mode, the body recognizes that it is safe enough to repair, to expand, to create. The breath naturally deepens. The cellular memory begins editing. The nervous system, instead of scanning for threat, begins scanning for opportunity. The imagination opens. Synchronicities increase, not because something randomly decided to be kind, but because your perception widened enough to notice openings that were always there. This is the biological signature of every awakening you have ever read about. Breathe, slowly, fully, and here's the truth most people aren't ready to hear. You cannot think your way from one mode to the other. You can only embody your way across. This is why every strategy you have tried has, at some point, plateaued. The journaling, the declarations, the visualization sessions, the courses, the resets, the routines, none of them failed because they were wrong. They failed at the points where they were practiced from inside survival mode. A declaration spoken from a contracted nervous system reinforces the contraction. A visualization performed from threat reinforces the threat. The frequency of the doing always overrides the content of what is being done. Stay with me, because this is the unlock most people miss for years. The shift you came here to make is not informational. It is identity level. You are not adjusting behavior. You are changing the broadcasting frequency of your entire biological authority. And the only way to do that is to consistently demonstrate to your nervous system that the new identity is the one operating now, not someday. Now, your body does not respond to what you want. It responds to what you consistently demonstrate. Read that again with your breath, not your eyes. Because that single sentence is the mechanism behind every transformation that has ever happened in any incarnation, in any timeline, anywhere in the field. Want is information. Demonstration is signal. And only signal rewires the cellular memory. Demonstration does not require dramatic action. It requires repetition of micro-states. A breath taken at the pace your future self takes it. A posture held for 30 seconds the way your future self holds it. A meal eaten slowly because the version of you beyond the contract is no longer rushing through her own life. A pause before answering because the version of you beyond the contract no longer apologizes by speaking too quickly. Each of these is a vote. Each vote rewrites a clause. And right now, something is shifting in the way you are receiving your own breath. This is where the contract finally breaks. A contract is not broken in a single dramatic event. It is broken when the body that signed it is no longer the body present. You are doing that right now. With every breath you take during this video, you are sending a signal to your nervous system. I am no longer the one who agreed to that. I am no longer the one who performs that loop. I am no longer the one who fits that pattern. Notice how your eyes feel heavier. Notice the soft tear that may be forming without sadness. That is not fatigue. That is your nervous system dropping out of the scanning state. That is regeneration mode coming online for the first time in possibly years. You are not motivating yourself. You are decommissioning a frequency. And here's what most people never realize. The signs of a soul contract dissolving are often mistaken for breakdowns. The unexplainable irritation. The sudden inability to perform old roles. The ending of friendships that had become rituals of mutual smallness. The strange, almost reverent appetite for solitude. The visceral disgust at certain foods, certain media, certain conversations. None of those are problems. All of them are evidence. The body is purging the residue of an agreement it no longer participates in. This is not a phase. This is a recalibration. And recalibration is irreversible. Stay with this, because the next part is where most people accidentally re-sign the old contract, and the chosen ones do not. There are two paths in front of you right now. Both look reasonable, only one is yours. The first path is the most common one. It is the path of returning to comfort. After a transmission like this, the nervous system, having opened wider than it has in years, will begin to crave the familiar. It will reach for the old explanations. It will reach for the old people who confirm the old version. It will reach for the routines that, while painful, are predictable. And in that reach, in the next several days, most viewers will quietly re-sign a slightly upgraded version of the contract they just felt dissolve. They will explain away what just happened. They will minimize the chest pressure they felt. They will dismiss the tear that formed in their eye when the parallel version was named. They will say it was just a video. It was not just a video. The second path is the path you are still standing on, in this exact second, by being here. It is the path of refusal. Not aggressive refusal, quiet refusal. The refusal to perform the old self even one more day out of inertia. The refusal to enter the conversations that demand contraction. The refusal to apologize for the new heaviness that certain old environments produce in you. The refusal to be talked out of what your body has already remembered. This is the threshold. And here's what most people never realize. The threshold does not stay open forever. The field opens it during specific windows, what some traditions call divine timing. And during those windows, the chosen ones are the ones who walk through, and the not yet ready are the ones who promise themselves they will, soon, eventually. When conditions improve, conditions never improve outside the threshold. Conditions improve only after you cross it. Stay with me. You cannot unsee this. That is the part of this transmission that is non-negotiable. Even if you close this video and try to return to your previous life unchanged, a part of your nervous system will know. It will know that you were shown what was operating inside you. It will know that you were given the language for the contract. It will know that you were named. And being named in the field is the one thing that cannot be undone. The illusion of separation between you and the version of you beyond the contract has already collapsed. You can pretend otherwise. The body cannot. So this is not a question of whether you transform. The transformation is occurring. This is a question of whether you will resist it or align with it. Alignment is not effort. Alignment is the willingness to stop fighting the new frequency that is already organizing through you. Resistance is what most people call effort. It is what they call discipline. It is what they call self-improvement. But here's the reframe that will save you years. Control is not alignment. Control is resistance disguised as effort. The version of you beyond the contract does not control her life. She trusts the architecture of reality enough to let it deliver to the frequency she is broadcasting. That trust is not naive. It is earned through demonstration. And demonstration begins with a single decision, that you are no longer available for the conditions the old contract required. This is the responsibility piece. And it is the part most spiritual content removes because it is uncomfortable. The contract did not bind you alone. You participated. You performed your part. You collected evidence for the agreement every time you confirmed your old story. That is not blame. That is sovereignty. Because the same mechanism that bound you is the mechanism that unbinds you. Participation is the engine. Yours. And here's the truth most people aren't ready to hear. Nobody else can step through the threshold for you. No teacher, no transmission, no mentor, no ritual. They can name it. They can light the door. They can hold the field steady around you. But the step is yours. You are not a victim of your patterns. You are the author who forgot she was writing. And the moment you remember, the moment you take ownership of the pen, the patterns lose their automatic authority over you. Right now, something is shifting. You can feel the quiet stillness that follows the recognition. That stillness is the new agreement taking shape. That stillness is the field, the I am, the source code of who you actually are, beginning to write through you instead of around you. You are not becoming someone new. You are no longer pretending to be someone old. Breathe, slowly, fully. Let the air arrive deeper than you have allowed it to all day. Let your shoulders drop the way they would if you trusted that nothing in this moment required your bracing. Let the back of your neck soften. Let your jaw release whatever it has been holding since this morning. Notice the quiet vibration moving through the center of your chest. That vibration is the new frequency stabilizing. That vibration is the integration phase locking in. This is the part most teachers skip, the part where you do nothing, where you simply allow what has just been activated to settle into the cellular memory without your interference. Your only job for the next several breaths is to not abandon what your body is in the middle of integrating. Stay with me. The version of you who walked into this video is not the version of you who is leaving it. That is not a statement of belief. That is a measurable shift in your nervous system that has occurred while you have been listening. The contract is gone. The merge has begun. The threshold has been crossed. What remains is the daily, quiet, almost invisible work of demonstrating again and again that the new frequency is the one in residence now. You will be tested. That is not a punishment. That is the field confirming the new identity. In the coming days, certain old situations, certain old people, certain old internal voices will return, not to defeat you, but to ask you whether you mean it. The answer is not loud. The answer is the way you breathe through them. The answer is the way you no longer participate in the loop they are inviting you back into. The answer is silence, where there used to be performance. This is not motivation. This is your new biological authority taking its rightful seat. And here is what most people never realize. The chosen ones are not the ones who arrived here special. They are the ones who, in moments like this, chose to stay present long enough to let the recalibration finish. That is the only difference. Presence, sustained presence, through one transmission, through one threshold, through one reorganization of the architecture that holds your life in place. You did that. Right now, go to the comments and type, "My old contract is dead," not as a trend, not as something everyone else is doing, but as a declaration. A signal to yourself that the agreement that bound your previous life no longer has authority over the version of you who is reading these final words. Type it. Watch the strange relief that follows. That relief is the field acknowledging your signature on the new agreement. You are not the same. You will not be the same tomorrow. You will not be the same a month from now. The merge has been initiated. The contract has been dissolved. The frequency has been set. And the only thing left for you to do for now is to breathe one more time fully and to know with a quietness that no one outside this moment can take from you that you have crossed something tonight that most never even see. You were not scrolling. You were arriving, and the door behind you has already closed.